Hey, and welcome back to the Global Flow series. I am so excited today to introduce you guys to the beautiful Devani Freeman. Devani helps heart-centered women entrepreneurs build their buzz online and get known as the go-to expert in their field. She does this by showing them step by step and how to effectively grow an online following and how to effectively turn those followers into paying clients with her proven strategies that you can create a wait list of clients and a business you love. In addition, Devani is the CEO of Heart Centered Social, a boutique social media marketing management agency offering done-for-you services for busy business owners. I am so glad to have you here. I've met Devani last year at my event, and then we were also in the same mastermind, and she's absolutely incredible, a source of knowledge, and I'm just so glad to have you here.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. I love everything that you're up to. So really a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. I just love that we've been able to meet offline as well as online, which is such a big part of this business. So tell me, first of all, how did you get started in this industry? I'm always so curious to know people's stories.
Yes. Yeah. So my career out of high school was actually in the beauty industry, and I was a hairstylist for about 6 years. People are like, that's why you have such great hair. And I'm like, yes, I did have some training. But about 5 years into the industry, I realized that I wanted to do something different. And you have just that calling in you that you're made for more, like this, I'm here to serve a bigger purpose. And like, I'm ready to expand. And so I didn't know what that looked like. All I knew is that I was ready and open and willing to try different things. And I was like, what sounds like fun? What would I love to do? And when I was a little girl, I always thought about being an attorney or a teacher, which is very interesting. And so I embarked in working for an attorney, and attorneys, like, that's not the funnest industry. It can be very stressful. Yeah. So I tried that out for a little bit. And then a gal that I was working with in that industry, she was still coming to me like once a week. I was doing her hair, and she ended up getting a job in the advertising industry. And she painted this picture of all this freedom and working with these small businesses and super fun and, sales and marketing. And I was like, you know what? I can see myself doing that. And so that's when I jumped on board working for this multimedia company. And I learned everything from traditional advertising. I was selling like direct mail and yellow pages and search engine marketing. And they taught, about sales and business. And I learned so much, and it was such a great learning experience. And that is what led me then into starting my own business, because the company was not that innovative. Everybody was going online. There was this huge shift that was happening. And so I saw the need for what I could do with helping small businesses with my passion, which was social media and online marketing. And so that's when I launched my business, and it started with social media management, offering done-for-you services. And then I started getting into the mentoring and the teaching. So then that, teacher came out in me, and now running online courses and academies, helping women entrepreneurs and a few cool men too, to really build their business and get it to thrive with building community and generating leads from social media.
I love it. It must have been so interesting, because you've obviously been in this industry a bit longer than me, to actually have seen that shift happening. I was very unaware of it, obviously being a corporate girl, but what have you seen? Have you seen the industry shift again recently, or has it been, what do you think is the biggest change now versus when you started?
Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of really big shifts happening right now, because the thing is now everyone's on social media. Like Facebook is just dominating the marketplace in the industry. Instagram is coming right in behind that. You've got YouTube, which is, the second largest search engine below Google. And so there's a lot of people coming online and the space is getting very crowded. So the shift that is happening is that businesses are realizing, and us as marketers are realizing, that you can't really rely on social media to generate organic traffic because it's so busy and inundated. So what you want to rely on social media for is generating leads. Yes, with like Facebook ads, getting people off of social media onto your email list is like crucial. So using it in that way, but in the other way, it's building community and building relationship. And the people that are not paying attention to that and really capitalizing on like Facebook Live, video, showing up, being real, being authentic, and really creating and cultivating that community, those are the people that are going to win versus people that are just trying to use it as a traffic source, pushing out my latest blog posts, and they're not actually building a community.
Oh, got it. I love all of that. What do you think the key, like, oh, actually, I want to ask you one question and then we'll come back to some of these because I was like, oh, there's so much here. Because obviously it's the Global Flow series, I want to ask, and I'm asking this to everybody, what does flow mean to you in your life and in your business?
Yeah, so flow to me means, it means that there is no presence of resistance.
Nice.
Yeah, so being in flow means the gas pedal is on and I feel joyful and happy and I'm excited and I'm feeling confident and fired up.
Love it. Okay. And have you always felt like that in your business? Because I feel like you just ooze that at the moment. Like, I know behind the scenes you are on fire. You are like killing it in your business. And that's why I wanted to have you on here, right? Because I'm like, I have massive respect for you. And that's how you show up at the moment. Like, that's how you show up to me anyway.
Thank you.
Has it always been like that in your business?
Hell no.
Just checking. Okay, no, that makes me feel better.
I mean, and I really want to be real with people. Like, when you first start a business, you are not going to be in flow. I don't know anybody who's in flow when they're first starting out because there's so much resistance because you're starting something brand new. You don't know if people are going to buy it. You don't know if people are going to like you. And you're so worried about how you look and how you're showing up. And am I saying the right thing? And do I even know what I'm talking about? So, like, that's like, you got to stay in it long enough to find that flow. And that's where your commitment and your willingness to go beyond making mistakes and go beyond taking any sort of option besides, I will make this happen.
I love it. I'm taking notes, by the way. I think it's like an automatic client response thing, but I just love all that. And I was just writing it down. And I just want to highlight that. It's that willingness and commitment. And sometimes I feel like people, when they start out and there is this thing that happens in the industry, when there are some amazing people that come in, they take off and it's like in a year they're making $1 million and, you know, flying around the world first class and making it look very easy and very effortless. And I've been very lucky. I've had quite a quick progression myself, although it hasn't always been it's been more that like willingness and commitment, like having to get stuck in behind the scenes. What was one of maybe the one or two things that really helped you dig in that time or start to get past that resistance that you felt at first when you started your business, apart from that grit that you just stuck at it?
Yeah. So I would say what really helped me with getting through that resistance is, first of all, becoming aware of the resistance.
Yeah.
So knowing that first of all, having resistance is completely normal. One of the best books that I read when I was starting out is called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
Beautiful book, right?
Yeah. And really, and a new book similar to that of our era would be Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic.
Love it.
Is very similar to that. And it's really understanding that we all have resistance, especially when we're putting our own gifts out there. And so when you can accept that resistance is going to come up, and that when you do that, it's not something that you're like, oh, there it is, I'm running the other way. It's okay, there it is. And I feel you and I hear you, but you're not in the driver's seat. So it's I would allow myself to feel it and be aware, but also say you're not driving this and you're not honing in. So that was one thing that really allowed me to push through that resistance. The second thing is having people around me that believed in me more than I believed in myself. And for that time when I first started out was a business mentor of mine. And she could see a vision for me and see possibilities for me that I didn't even believe myself was possible. And so when you have somebody that is a mentor that believes in you and also is paving the way, and you can see, okay, she's made this happen. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see what I'm going for. So it's finding somebody in your industry that you can really look up to, that is where you're at, that has the lifestyle of what you want, because that is going to help to give you hope and to drive through and to know, okay, I can do this. Somebody else has done this. I can make this happen.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I think what you said there is so key, is finding a mentor that has or does what you have in a way that you like, right? Because it's so difficult. Sometimes I see people trying to work with someone whose lifestyle is completely different from their own. And it's like trying to put, I don't know, there's a disconnect, and it just doesn't always work. But I really love that. And I love Big Magic too. What an incredible book. And I think what you talked about, like having the awareness of the resistance, I was completely oblivious at the beginning that there was even such a thing as mindset, or that resistance existed, or that I was in any kind of fear. I don't know if oblivious or just sheer denial. But yeah, I think when you start having those realizations, it really helps speed things up. So thank you so much for talking about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about how you talked about having, like, for businesses to work nowadays, and this shift that's been happening, which I think is so important for us to realize. The old way of business just doesn't stand anymore, in a sense. And you mentioned being authentic as being one of those pillars, I guess, of the community and being authentic. Okay, what does that mean to you, and how do you, I guess, help your clients or to show up in that way?
So being authentic means that you are communicating in a way that is real. So you're not, cherry chocolate cover coating anything. You're showing up in your mess. You're showing up in your mistakes, and you're also showing up in your successes and your celebrations. So how I've been able to get, so much business off of my social media and to have such a loyal following and community is by showing up real, which means not showing up looking perfect all the time. And we know on social media, it's easy to just put all the great stuff and to look perfect all the time. And so ways to do that is by talking about lessons that you are experiencing, lessons that you have learned along the way or on a day-to-day period. And also know that some days are not rainbows and butterflies. This morning I was doing a little Instagram story talking about when you're waking up feeling under the weather, it was a cloudy day here, and sometimes you're just not that super chirpy self. So I always like to share, okay, I'm not complaining, but what's the solution to that? And I was like, dance party time. And so I did a little behind the scenes of dancing and got music going. And so that's what it means to be authentic. And so, if somebody is a bigger brand and they have a bigger business that they run too, behind the scenes, what's going on with your staff, what's going on with your team, all of those things. Are you having problems in a certain area, and you're maybe haven't even found a solution yet, but it's arising, and some people might be able to relate to what's going on. Share that in a way to where it's hope. It's never sharing your stuff in a way to where you're complaining and you're being a victim, but it's always being in the driver's seat of sharing it to be authentic.
Yeah.
And sharing what's going on.
Yeah. I think that's such a beautiful fine line between like that, oh my God, like, have you those vulnerable posts, and it's just like this big like blah of people just spilling out their guts, their life story, but they're still so in their mess. I feel, I'd love to share a lesson, but usually it's like once I've maybe learned it, or like,
right.
Not like a cry for help, I guess. It's like a real fine line, because like I've had clients and they're really like, I want to show up, but I feel like I have to show either everything, my whole self, or they want to still be seen as the expert, and they feel like if they show that side of themselves, they're not being seen as an expert. Mm-hmm. Have you experienced that, or have you seen that happen for people?
Yes. So, and the thing is that is a lie that we're telling ourselves, because the more people see our imperfections and the more people see that we're real, the actual more respect and the more connected they'll feel to us. And I had a lot of shame around, when I was younger, in my teenage years, and then in my 20s, I had a lot of issues with drugs and was a party girl. I had a drug addiction for a little bit, and I decided that I wanted to get vulnerable and I wanted to share that. And I just thought like, oh my gosh, people are, this is going to knock me down a few with my credibility. And I had so many people say, I respect you more for what you've overcome and where you are now for sharing that versus before. So the same thing is again, sharing it after the fact and after I've gone through it. So if somebody is like feeling inauthentic, or they're scared that this is going to not make them look as much of an expert, is not sharing it during the time that it's happening. It's sharing it after, of like, but yet I achieved this. I felt like this, my clients actually weren't getting this results, but this is what happened and this is how I overcame it. I'm not perfect, and I'm still on, this road and this journey, as it's an everyday choice, but this is what happened. And so it's always figuring out a way to position it to where you're inspiring. So when it comes to, email marketing and social media and all of that, you want to either inspire, you want to educate, or you want to entertain.
Ooh, I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
I love it.
If you do any of those three things, you're golden.
Okay, good. Okay. And thank you so much for sharing that about your past. And oh my God. Oh, sorry. I just did a thing flash off my screen. I was like, where have you gone? So I was like, no. Thank you so much for being authentic with us and sharing that. I didn't know that was part of your story. And again, it does make me, I'm like, wow, that's incredible. Well, through my 20s, I drank so much because, and got myself in, it wasn't drugs, but for me, it was just alcohol, and got myself in some really tricky situations sometimes. And I look back and I'm like, how am I still alive? Like, by the grace of God, some of the ridiculous things you end up doing. But I didn't realize I was just numbing. I was really like I didn't feel feelings really, and I was in a job I didn't like, and just partly boredom, partly because all my friends were, but there was definitely this like numbing sense. How, I guess, and obviously I'm guessing you've gone through something, but how important has personal development been in your journey for you to where you're at today?
Oh, it's been 90% of my success has been because of my personal development. Because we can learn all the strategies in the world that we need to. We can spend all of our time listening to podcasts and buying courses, but you're not going to take the action. You're not going to push through, and you're not going to believe that you can actually achieve it unless you are doing the internal work.
I love that. Yeah. I just got goosebumps, like full body goosebumps when you said 90% of my success in personal development. And what I love is that I think some people think that only people that teach personal development have done it or used it in their business or to grow. And I love that you teach obviously social media and strategy, and you have this amazing agency, but yet it's still been a huge part of your business. And I just want, like, I guess if anyone has been listening to this, they're going to realize how important this is. But I love that you don't necessarily teach it, although obviously you're very, like, you can talk about it very easily, but it's not necessarily the core of what you do. So I just love that. I'd love to know, what are a couple of the what have been some of your best tools or breakthroughs that you've used along that personal development journey, like certain modalities or things you've tried?
Yes. So I journal every single day.
Wow.
Every single day. So that is what I use to self-coach through my resistance that's coming up. It's how I stay in flow, by writing out all of the things that I'm grateful for, because it's very easy for us to want to lean into the negative and think about all of the things that we don't have versus staying in that, well, look at all the things that I have in my life right now and all of the amazing things that I get to do. Even the things that I don't want to do, they're blessings that I get to do them. And so when we focus and we really create that daily practice of gratitude, then that helps then in feeling gratitude in all areas. And then if things are coming up and you're feeling uneasy, why am I have feelings about this? Why am I having things, of unworthiness or lack of confidence or fear in a certain area? Then journaling about it. What do I believe true to be about this? Is this true? Usually the answer is always, no, it's not true. Whatever your mind is playing tricks on you.
Right.
And so being able to journal has been one of my biggest. My number 2 is meditation. My mind is always buzzing every time I'm doing stuff. I've got, a training going on, or I'm talking to clients and just moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And so having that quiet time where I'm meditating and working to actively clear my mind has also been a huge modality.
I love that. It's funny, somebody mentioned the other day that one of our experts about journaling, and it's like, and I've seen this common theme through friends and people I know behind the scenes, that's what they're doing. It's such a key component of their success, and it's the people that are skyrocketing and living in flow that are literally journaling daily, and it's just huge. And I shared with the other lady that in the past I wasn't, I think because I knew how good it was. And I knew, I was like, oh, if I write that down, it's going to happen. So, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. And it's really funny to see even those kind of patterns. It's like you say you want it, but you're not actually doing the work that will create it. And it becomes this sort of weird circle.
Or thinking it can't be that easy.
Right? Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, we think it needs to be this like big thing, like with everything, like when it comes to like weight loss or more energy or, you know, making an extra $5,000 a month. Like it can be easier than we think if we allow it to be easy.
Yes. I that really like, I was going to say triggers not the word, but I was like, it's been one of my biggest learnings, and I see it so much in the market. We tend to think like the only way to have more success is literally just to run ourselves into the ground, to work harder, it couldn't possibly be that easy. And I've had like, when I first started out, and I had like these giant pockets of like what looked like overnight success, and then I was like, what the heck? And I freaked out, and like I backed away from it because I was like, what? How could it be that easy?
Yes.
We're looking for something else. It's just, we're crazy cats.
Yes.
How have you managed to allow it to be easier for yourself?
Well, that's a great question. I'm always working on that, allowing it to be easy. I do it by visualization. So that's another modality. So imagining what it is that I want to achieve before I've actually achieved it. So I have a big launch coming up, and I'm, you know, every day, like imagining and closing my eyes of what it feels like, the ease of putting that course together, the ease of creating all my launch materials, how fun it is, checks coming through and seeing that come into my bank account, and allowing it to be easy in that way. And then associating happy feelings with everything, even though it's a lot of work. And I know that's a lot of work in a very heavy focus period, but allowing it to be fun and energetic and peaceful during that experience.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely. And I don't think enough people are having enough fun, especially in a launch time when it is actually like the key vibration. You need to keep your vibration up during a launch time, and
Right.
people end up in this like, oh my god, it's not working and nobody signed up today, and then they just get into this huge spin. And I feel like there's like it's almost like a myth in the marketplace that launch time has to be like this like terrible thing. Like, but if you can have fun, that's incredible. I had one client, she's like, did I miss something with launching? Like, I thought it was supposed to be this terrible thing. And she's like, I put a website up and I hit a button, and, you know, like, she's like, if it didn't, the world didn't end. And I was like, no, it's fine. That's fine. You don't need it to be worse than that.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, obviously there's more to it, but I think like, I guess we choose the amount of drama we attach to something like a launch. And it's one of my big things for this year. I'm going into a busy period as well, and I was like, what if I could just do this whole year without any drama? Like, and every time I see something, and resistance is also drama, right? And so when I see anything like that come up, I'm like, how can I just like not have that reaction to this? It's been a big shift for me. I wanted to ask you now, I kind of think I know the answer to this, but not everybody else does. I would love to know how you get so much done. Now, I have a feeling that you have a certain ritual you use every day. Can you explain a little bit about that to us?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the perfect morning, like how you get so much done.
Oh, like the perfect day formula. Oh, like my morning routine.
Yeah. Just, or how you get so much done, or how you organize yourself to get so much. I know you have a great team as well, which is obviously helpful.
Yeah, so great team. And I'm always playing around with how to get more done and how to be more efficient. And so like lately, what has been working really well for me is having a chunk of time in the morning that is completely like there's no distractions. I am just working on that assignment. So what I'm doing is before you go to bed the night before, you're writing down the top 3 things that you need to get done in that day. Those are the top must have, must do, these 3 things.
Yeah.
And then when I get up, I do my morning routine of, lemon water and journaling and meditation, doing a few stretches. And then I have this focus time that's like, a 2-hour block. And with this comes getting up usually earlier than what you're used to, which means you're going to bed earlier because you want to still make sure you're well fueled and getting enough sleep. For me, sleep is super important. And so I have to shift everything in order to get up. But there's something about waking up really early and in those early morning quiet period of then being like, okay, this is what I'm working on during this period. And I'm not allowing myself to distract. I'm not getting on Instagram. I'm not getting on Facebook. I'm not checking my email. I'm just getting those things done. And then after that, then take a break. Then you could go do your workout. And so by shifting it where before I would get up, I'd do my routine, then I would work out, then I'd get ready, and then I would settle in. And by the time that was happening, it was later. And I already felt like I was not ahead of the game. But when you achieve something first thing in the morning, then it sets you up for a feeling like you can tackle the day because you've already accomplished something, especially if it's something that's been sitting on your list that you just need to do. And so it's just like, you just get to do it and you don't have any excuses of phone calls coming in or anything like that. So it's really important to make sure you're not checking your email, you're not checking your social media, and you're diving right in and you're getting the tasks done that you have committed to completing.
I love that. I actually deleted my email off my phone. This to allow me to do that, because I was rolling out of bed and checking my email in bed, and I was like, I know this is bad. I know it's bad. But I couldn't trust myself to not do it. And when you allow things like that to take over first thing in the morning, your mind then could start running, like while I'm, trying to journal and I'm worried about the email I received. And that just sends you into this spin. If you can get into that beautiful state of gratitude and visualizing this amazing thing, then you check your email, it doesn't have the same impact. So I'm being very strict with myself and like no email on my phone. It's been very freeing because it means like when I go and run errands or do whatever, I'm not like tripping over my feet trying to check my email at the same time, and I just leave it for an hour. And you know what? The world hasn't ended.
Yes.
I thought the world might end,
right?
and nothing bad's happened so far. So I'm gonna keep it up. I think as long as I possibly can. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Let me just see if I got. There's just been so much amazing stuff you've shared today, and I really, really appreciate it. I think there's one more thing I was going to ask you a little bit about, and it's slightly not flow related, but how you talked a little bit, you brushed over video and Facebook Live in business. Can you just talk a little bit about how important that is coming up? And I think a lot of people were still a little bit resistant. I just had a message from a client going, I don't want to do the video you told me to do. And I'm like, just do it. How important is that in business and in growing this community and being authentic?
It's absolutely key. Facebook is rewarding businesses that are going live on their Facebook pages. So when you think, Facebook pages are dead and they have a really low reach engagement, that's true. But when you do a Facebook Live, Facebook is literally trying to get people to watch your video. And so it's actually going to have it be seen by your fans. And so we have an opportunity right now to capitalize on that happening. And it's also more real when you do a live video. It's not, there's no editing. It's super live. People can see your imperfections. They really get to see how you show up. And it's the next closest thing to someone being with you in person. And so when you can do that and share that, whether it's live on Facebook or even live on Instagram, it's going to create a quicker, deeper, and more authentic connection. And when people know, like, and trust you, they're going to want to buy from you. So if your end result is to grow your business and make an impact and help people with amazing services, you know, that the listeners have that are on here, then they've got to get out there and think about, it's not about you, it's about making a difference for them.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh. Instagram Live. Yes. I just saw, I mean, I don't know if they rolled it out. I don't know who got it first or who didn't. But I only just recently found it, and I actually haven't done, I don't think I've done one yet. Not myself. I'd like filmed the girls when we were out for a drink the other day. But there's something about going live on Instagram feels a bit strange. And I do Facebook Lives. But yeah, how is that different, or how is that platform a little bit different to Facebook Live? Because it's so new, because some people might not even have known it was a thing.
Yes. So the difference is you can't save your Instagram Live after you do it live.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't spent a lot of time really doing much Instagram Lives because I'm like, boo, you know, you can't save this. And so people have to catch it when it's live. So it's an ability of kind of thinking about like a longer story, kind of where you're connecting, it's off the cusp, and you want it to be a little bit longer, and you want to engage, maybe have like a flash sale going on, or you've got something to where you want to get people's attention and create that connection.
Gotcha.
So, and then at the top, when you see all the stories, whoever's live, that'll show up first on the end. So it's a great way to get exposure and new people tuning in. They may never have heard of you before.
Oh, that's because when I filmed the girls when we were at dinner, we're like, oh my gosh, we're using Instagram Live. Look at us. And we were like, where did it go? Where did it go? And I didn't know it didn't save. And I thought I just hadn't done it right, or I thought I hadn't been live, or I was like, so I'm so glad it doesn't save. That's such like, that's right.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm a little like, I mean, I'm only 36, but I feel like a bit of a dinosaur. I had to get my sister's stepdaughter to teach me how to Snapchat. I was like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I've actually deleted Snapchat because it was like there were too many distractions.
Yeah.
Like, no, let's just do Facebook, Instagram, pretty much. That's all I do, really.
Yeah.
Although that might be changing as I bring on a new team member soon. So we'll see. But awesome, amazingness. So I just want to say thank you so much for this. Like, so many gems. So just I love all this, and thank you so much again. So I want to just share. You have a free Build Your Audience challenge. Could you share a little bit about that, and then we'll have the links and everything below this as well.
Yes. So I love teaching entrepreneurs on how to build their audience on social media. And so I put together a free 5-day challenge that they can go through to give them the steps from A to Z on how they can get really super clear on who they're targeting, why you want to build an audience, some really great exercises, and then how to actually start doing that on different platforms. And so I go through strategy that I used, leveraging my personal Facebook profile, which there's ways that you can do that because it's like a big networking party, which is great. Getting people off of social media onto your email list. So it's a great like 101 build your audience to get started with growing your business online.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And where is the best place to get in contact with you? Where do you hang out most? Yes.
Where do I hang out most? I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I would say Instagram, definitely hanging out there a lot.
Amazing. Yes. What's your handle?
At Devani Freeman.
Perfect. So we'll try and get that all hooked up below. Definitely follow this lady. She knows her stuff, and take the challenge, build your following, and I will speak to y'all soon. See you in the next video. Thank you so much again, love.
Thank you.